First, there are some important definitions that we need to review. We'll discuss more detail about these as we get into the training. Evacuation assembly area is the safe area where employees will gather when they need to leave the building. A refuge area is a location that is easily accessible to individuals with limited mobility and with doors that act as a fire protection barrier. Shelter in place means that conditions outside are not safe and employees need to remain in or report to an indoor location. Building lockdown occurs in an active shooter or personal threat situation. If the situation warrants, employees remain in a location within the building or work area, minimize light and noise, and lock and barricade the door. We also need to review a few important roles. Emergency coordinators are assigned to ensure employees are moving to the evacuation assembly area, that they communicate with responders when they arrive, that they update employees on the emergency status, and ensure employees are accounted for, and notify employees when it is safe to return to work. NRI has an emergency communication team, or ETC, that consists of emergency coordinators, the spill response team, and any employees assigned to work with the Safety, Quality, and Training Office. This team communicates during incidents and initiates the proper response. NRI also has a spill response team. This is a trained group of employees who address non-emergency spills and escalate the spill to an emergency category when warranted. And finally, the Safety and Quality Training Manager has the primary responsibility to implement the NRI building emergency plans. This document can be found in the upper right corner of the course, Additional Resources tab. It can also be found in the building emergency plans. But it lists the different response team members and their phone numbers. So we have, if there's a check mark next to the name, that individual is on the emergency communication team. So for example, I'm on the emergency communication team. Jean Cranston is also an emergency coordinator and the spill response team. Now we're going to be talking about how to activate these teams, but just so you know, everybody's office phone and cell phone is listed. We'll be talking now about how you can simply complete a form to activate the different team members. So instead of going down the list of phone numbers and trying to get a hold of the individuals, you can notify everybody on the team at once by completing a simple form. If you go to NED and then Safety and Quality, there's a tab on the left that says Notify NRI Response Teams, and then you complete a form to notify the spill response team or complete a form to notify all of the emergency communication team. So if you have any situation that you don't feel you need to call 911 and activate an emergency response immediately, we have these options to internally notify our teams. And what you would do in both situations is click on the link and simply answer some questions. The spill one, for example, your name, your phone number, what was spilled, quantity, and location. You can keep it as simple as you want, just so that the individuals can get to that specific location. Once you hit submit, all 7 members of the spill response team are immediately sent an email and a text message. The same situation happens when you complete the emergency communication team form. So when you do that, all members of the emergency communication team, if there's a check by their name, all members of the emergency coordinators and spill response team are all notified.